What's up, everybody? Welcome to JorkeyTV. Thank you so much for tuning into the first episode of JorkeyTV. The goal of this channel is going to be spreading some positivity into the comic, gaming, nerd industry in general. I feel like there's been a threshold of negativity, and my biggest goal is to break through that, bring you guys some great content, start talking about some new comics, start talking about comic books in general, getting people out there reading some different things, highlighting some creative teams. And like I said, just bringing overall a positive vibe into the comic and gaming industry. So the first video in this series is going to be New Comic Book Wednesday, where I talk about all the new comics that I picked up that dropped that I want to talk about, that I want to highlight the creative teams, highlight the plot, the art, really get some new stuff out there, some new series from indie comics, Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, Image, you name it. Hopefully you'll be just as interested in these comics as I am. I'm picking out the ones that interest me. I'm not really looking for what's hot. Maybe that'll be something we do in the future. For now, it's just the stuff that I want to read, and hopefully I can get you into reading it as well. So today we're going to start with The Pale Knight Issue 1. So The Pale Knight Issue number 1 is written by Peter Milligan, whose past work you may have seen in Shade or Ecstatics, artist Val Rodriguez, who has some past work on Deep Roots, and publisher Mad Cave. The synopsis for this story I had to modify a bit. If you go to the Mad Cave website, it gives away a little bit too much in my opinion, so I changed it. Hopefully this gives a good summary. The story finds us in England, 1349. Sir Hugh de Grey, the Pale Knight, returns from war to find a land ravaged by the Black Death. As he traverses the land, he questions not only his own actions, however his own faith as well. Unfortunately, that is not all for Sir Hugh, as tragedy awaits him as he returns home, which leads to an encounter with death itself. I want to start off by talking about the art that Val Rodriguez has put into this book. Amazing stuff. He captures the depression, the eerie, foggy timepiece that is England 1349 as the Black Death is spreading. He really captures Hugh's struggles, Sir Hugh's struggles with his own morality, the confliction. Everything is so well done here. He conveys the emotions and feelings in dread perfectly well. He conveys a certain type of depression to this book that I don't think a lot of people could have done. 100%. Great job to Val Rodriguez on this. And then we gotta talk about writer Peter Milligan's great work at establishing this cast of characters. Sir Hugh de Grey is great. His internal struggle is pretty amazing. Like I said, there's definitely some inspiration from the stories of King Arthur. However, there is enough of a twist that you haven't seen these character archetypes before. There is a character who I would contrast to Sir Lancelot, but there's good enough differences with the character that I'm interested to see where they take him. Death itself is a force of chaotic neutral, and he carries that within a few pages. An amazing job to this entire team. The rating for this is an 8 out of 10. I am definitely adding this to my pool box. I cannot wait to see where this story goes. I cannot wait to feel horrible as I continue to read through this story, because I do not believe there is a way that this can end in a positive light, but I am willing to be proven wrong. Perhaps Sir Hugh de Grey finds what he needs to within himself, and he is able to truly embody what it means to be a knight. Or they all die, which is also completely possible. Who knows? It's not really setting up for a positive thing when it comes to the Black Death, but I can always be proven wrong. So last but very much not least in our all 2-issue New Comic Book Day haul, which I apologize, for a first episode, I think that's a perfect amount, we have The Goddamn Tragedy. The Goddamn Tragedy is written by Chris Condon. I apologize if I mispronounced that name. You can find his work right now on Ultimate Wolverine, which I have heard nothing but great things about, so check that out as well. The artist on this book being Sean Curanu, who has done some work on Fish Flies, and once again I apologize if I mispronounced that last name. And the publisher here being Oni Press. Now I also added letterist Sean Lee. Typically moving forward, I don't know if I would put that much detail into these videos, but everything in this book is a masterpiece, so I just want to make sure we give a shout out to Sean Lee for also contributing to that as well. So the synopsis for The Goddamn Tragedy, I tried to keep as subtle as possible to not give away too much of the story. This is a story that takes place in 1846. We follow the story of young Ellie, whose family is en route to turn their misfortune around. When her father decides to take advice from an unknown stranger, the trip takes a horrific turn. I absolutely adored this book. If I had to summarize, it is a Western shining. They even mention that as an influence in the back of the pages where they answer a few questions brought up to them. They say their influences are the Coen brothers and Stanley Kubrick. That much is very evident. Karunaru's art has been influenced by a Taiyo Matsumoto. And you can tell it is very much a manga inspired art. The art here has such a unique style though that I don't think I'm giving it enough credit. I love this man's art. I cannot wait for you all to get to experience it for yourselves. You could check out a preview of it if you'd like. And I'll include a link to some of the previews in the description to this video. This is perfect. If you like horror, if you like westerns, if you like psychological thrillers, this book is perfect. I adored this so much. It's one of those things that I can definitely see becoming a movie at some point. And that just further compliments Chris Condon's writing in this one. He does a stellar job. His influences are clear, but it doesn't take away from the story at all. Which leads me to the review out of 9 out of 10. Like I said, there are some story notes that we've seen in other horror media, but again, his writing is so fantastic. The characterizations, once again, the struggle of a family, the trauma, there's just so much right here that you walk away with just, again, dread. It's a great dread builder. It is just, give it a shot. I don't even know how to word it. I'm going to keep me struggling in here for a reason because that's just how good this book is. If you can find the book in your comic store, make sure to pick that up, slap that thing up, display it somewhere because it is a piece of art. I love it so much. And yeah, let's close this video out now. So it looks like we're at the end of the video here. And I once again want to thank you for checking in to the first episode of JorkeyTV. It's been your host, Jorkey. Like I said, the absolute goal here is that we spread some positivity, get some eyes on the scene, and just help change the nerd industry for the better. Get some laughs, get some smiles going on. Like I said, I'll have a schedule soon of what videos I'm going to be uploading, when I'm going to be uploading them, when I'm going to be on Twitch. And I hope you all check it out. If you have any comments, feedback, anything else, please feel free to leave that. Like I said, I'm looking to develop. This video is a little bit rough on the edges, fully aware of that one. I'm hoping to improve as time goes on, and I am looking for any possible feedback y'all can give me. So I hope you check out those books. I hope you check out the channel, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks again for checking out JorkeyTV.